श्री श्री गुरु गौरांच तत्त्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांगो श्री राधा नयननाथ जीव की जय। जय श्री गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ देव की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिष्टो विष्णुपाद परमहंसा तत्तरशिल भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिष्टो विष्णुपाद परमहंसा तत्तरशिल भक्ति दैत माधव गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिष्टो विष्णुपाद परमहंसा तत्तरशिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। जय परमहंसा शिल गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिष्टो जय शिशिल सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। जय वैष्णव सर्वम शिल जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय श्री रूपानुग गुरुवर की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वसदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपी गो गोवर्धन वृंदावन श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंदात्मक श्री ब्रज मंदिर की जय। जय श्री नवदीप धाम की जय। जय श्री पुरुषोत्तम धाम की जय। जय श्री बलदेव सुभद्रा जगन्नाथ श्री सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय। जय श्री वृंदा देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। जय सर्व विघ्न विनाशनकारी श्री नृसिंह देव की जय। जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय समागत भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर ब्रह्मानंदे हरि बोल। वंदे हम श्री गुरो श्री जुता पादा कमला श्री गुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्री रूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम Ramo Ramo Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare, Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. Rishabdev is giving teaching to his sons. Last time we heard, when the strong knot in the heart of a person implicated in material life due to the results of past action is slackened, one turns away from his attachment to home, wife, and children. In this way, one gives up the basic principle of illusion, I and mine, and becomes liberated. Thus one goes to the transcendental world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote in his song in Sharanagati, before I was so much burdened by all this, but when I took absolute shelter of Supreme Lord, when I fully surrendered, then I saw that this home is not mine, no attachment, but this home belongs to Krishna. My wife belongs to Krishna, my children belong to Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna. Then there was no more trouble. I'm serving Krishna. Then Jedino grihe, bhajana dekhe, grihe te goloko bhai. In that house where bhajan is going on, bhajan means this, with sambandha gyan. Krishna is the owner, Krishna is the enjoyer, master. I am servant. So when this conception is there and when one serves Krishna, then he is in transcendental world. Only like giving up house and going to forest, that does not mean that you came to transcendental world if you don't serve Krishna. Hamse Guru Mai Bhaktyanu Vritya Vitrishnaya Dvandva Titikshaya Cha Sarvatra Jantur Vyasana Vagatya Jigyasaya Tapaseha Nirvritya Mat Karma Bir Mat Kathaya Chanityam Mat Deva Sangat Guna Kirtanan Me Nirvaira Samyo Pashamena Putra Jihasaya Deha Gehatma Buddhehe Adhyatma Yogena Vivikta Sevaya Pranendriyatma Bijayena Sad Hryak. Sachradaya brahmacharyena shashvat asam pramadena yamena vacham sarvatra madbhava vichakshanena jnanena vijnana virajitena yogena dhrityudyama sattvayukto lingam vyapohet kushaloham akyam. My sons, O my sons, you should accept a highly elevated Paramahamsa, a spiritually advanced spiritual master. In this way, you should place your faith and love in me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You should detest sense gratification and tolerate the duality of pleasure and pain, which are like the seasonal changes of summer and winter. Try to realize the miserable condition of living entities who are miserable even in the higher planetary systems. Philosophically inquire about the truth. Then undergo all kinds of austerities and penances for the sake of devotional service. Give up the endeavor for sense enjoyment and engage in the service of the Lord. Listen to discussions about the Supreme Personality of Godhead and always associate with devotees. Chant about and glorify the Supreme Lord and look upon everyone equally on the spiritual platform. Give up enmity and subdue anger and lamentation. Abandon identifying the self with the body and the home and practice reading the revealed scriptures. Live in a secluded place and practice the process by which you can completely control your life air, mind, and senses. Have full faith in the revealed scriptures, the Vedic literatures, and always observe celibacy. Perform your prescribed duties and avoid unnecessary talks. Always thinking of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, acquire knowledge from the right source. Thus, practicing Bhakti Yoga, you will patiently and enthusiastically be elevated in knowledge and will be able to give up the false ego. Everything he already told here. Mahaprabhu said, for all my teachings, you will find evidence in SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. Here everything is Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, Diti worship, Trinada Pisunichana, Tarura Pisahisana, Manina Manadena, everything is here. Kirtan. Then if we do Bhakti Yoga, then we can realize our real self and that false ego will go away. But we have to really practice Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga means Bhakti. Bhakti means service. Service means you want to satisfy your master. So with this attitude, we have to do devotional forms with proper relationship and for Krishna's satisfaction. Otherwise, that will not be proper abhideya. If Sambandha is not there, then there will be not proper abhideya. And Sambandha will be awakened by bona fide Guru. Then under his guidance you should do this. Not just for enjoyment or for some worldly benefits or for liberation or for all these things. That is not Bhakti Yoga. Yoga means to link up with Supreme Lord through Bhakti. And Bhakti means this, to serve Him not just performing some things and for other purposes. I told 2 examples that they were chanting, but he became a ghost because of offenses to the name. And another one, when Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was explaining in one class in Kolkata about different offenses to the name, then someone there in the audience, he told that how is it possible that offenses can touch the name? Name is pure. How it is possible something can harm him? Then Prabhupada said, no offenses can touch Harinam. Harinam is transcendental, pure, eternal, liberated, everything. Not different from Krishna. But our attitude, our abhideya may be contaminated. So we cannot, that Harinam will not manifest his form to us, transcendental form, as long as offenses are there. Like one merchant, he will not give payment to his servant if he sees that he is not working properly. Then that man said, I never heard from my guru, one from some other sampradaya, he never told me about offenses. So a real guru will tell about offenses to the name and to avoid it, and also about sinful activities to be avoided. Otherwise, that will not be devotion to Krishna, it will be for some enjoyment. Once Srila Bhaktivinoda Puri Goswami Maharaj, he was in Zagreb first time in 1999. And that first lecture was outside in one park. There Srila Bhaktivinoda Puri Goswami Maharaj told, even you may chant 16 rounds, but you will still go to hell. Then all were surprised. How? Then he said, because you are doing with offenses. You are not properly respecting Vaishnavas, you are not, these so many offenses. So even chanting, you will go to hell. So we have to learn from bona fide guru. Also, I heard from another sampradaya, someone said, like, if you are only chanting name, then you will not get taste. But if you meditate on the form of Krishna, then you will get more taste. And if you add meditation on the attributes, then you will get more taste. And if you add pastimes, then you will get more taste. Like if you have one plain yogurt, then there is no taste. But if you add camphor and sugar and all these things, then it will be tasty. Then I was surprised how this is possible. No taste means there is actually no realization of the real name of Krishna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, Naam Vigraha Swarup, Tin Ek Rup, Tine Bed Nahi, Tin Chidananda Rup. There is no difference between the name, deity, form of Supreme Lord, and himself. All are Chid Ananda Rup. They are all transcendental, spiritual, and blissful. How is it possible that chanting the name, if real name, that you will say there is no taste? So I have to add some remembrance on the name, Rup, like this. But the point is, there it is, Mahaprabhu told, they are swaprakash, they are self-effulgent. They are beyond these material senses and they are self-effulgent. Means he will reveal, Supreme Lord will reveal himself to a surrendered soul, to those who are inclined to serve. So if someone is inclined to serve, there Prabhupada also in that lecture he told, this Sevan mukha hi jivado swayameva spuratyada. By his own will, he will reveal himself, name, form, attributes, to a service-inclined soul, one who is following the instructions of bona fide guru. Then how is it possible that you can think there is no taste in Harinam? Only if you add other things by your mind, by your remembrance, then you will get more taste. Means there is no actual realization of the name, Harinam, real name. Why? Because offenses are there, not inclination to serve. Then Nam, Prabhu, is not revealed to us. Then we can say such things. So many Apasampradayas there, they can say like this. But real devotee, like Prabhupada, he says that in the name, everything is there inside. It will gradually be revealed from the name when you chant without offenses. But that does not mean that when you will chant the name without offenses and he will reveal himself to you, that you will feel there is no taste in the name, unless you add some remembrance. Then Bhakti, how Rupa Goswami wrote that verse, Tunde Tandavini, that verse, that how much nectar is there in the two syllables of Krishna. And then he is explaining what happens when that real name enters through the air and goes to the heart and then comes on the tongue. How much nectar is there? And our Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote one song in Bengali song explaining that, how much nectar. And when Haridas Thakur heard this explanation from Rupa Goswami, he was astonished. He said, I never heard such explanation of the name. So good. So, how one can say there is no taste in the name unless you add? And that is very dry. If you only chant Harinam, that is very dry. You have to meditate also. Then you will get taste. Means no realization of the name. Rupa Goswami in Upadeshamrita he wrote that Nam, Rup, Gun, Lila, they are all sweet as nectar. Name also is sweet as nectar. But because we have that avidya, aversion to Krishna and other desires, anarthas, everything, aparadas, we are not able to taste, we are diseased. But when disease is removed, then you will be able to taste. In name there is Purnamrita Aswadanam. Anandambudhi Vardhanam is there. The ocean of bliss is increasing all the time. And at every step you get pure bliss from the name. Because name is not different from Krishna. Krishna is Rasa Vaisa. So it is very strange, but it is there. That is why after disappearance of Mahaprabhu and his pure devotees, then darkness descended. Many Apasampradayas, they are not giving real teaching. So Prabhupada and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they had to appear to give real teaching. So you have to follow their instruction and get realization. So here Rishabdev is telling you have to practice Bhakti Yoga. This you should not forget this word Bhakti, and we have to know. Our Srila Bhakti Bigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, he told, I asked them, you are saying, you are propagating, but you tell me what is the meaning of Bhakti? What is the definition of Bhakti according to scripture? Then Bharati Maharaj said, they could not reply to me. So we have to understand what is Bhakti. Otherwise it becomes business or something else. So bhakti means, and we can get bhakti from bhakta. And then bhaktya sanjataya bhaktya. By doing bhakti, you can increase your bhakti. Karma shayam hridaya granti bandham avidya yasaditam apramataha anena yogena yato padesham samyak vyapohyo parameta yogat. As I have advised you, my dear sons, you should act accordingly. Be very careful. By this means, you will be freed from the ignorance of the desire for fruitive activity, and the knot of bondage in the heart will be completely severed. For further advancement, you should also give up the means. That is, you should not become attached to the process of liberation itself. That is the point. When you go to doctor, then he will diagnose you and he will say you have to take this medicine. So after some days he comes back and he says, I'm still sick. Then doctor asked him, you got prescription? Yes, I got prescription. I learned whole prescription. I can tell everything. I memorized whole prescription. Then doctor said, but did you take that medicine? Then he said, no, but I know all the prescription. Then doctor said, that will not work. So here, I advised you, but you have to act upon it or accordingly. Our Gurudev told there it is written, in one moment of sadhu sangha you will get all perfection. Then someone asked, but I did not get perfection. Then Guru said, when we come to sadhu sangha, we get knowledge, a clue about who is Supreme Reality, how we are related to Him, who we are, why we are suffering. But unless we execute that advice, do that advice, then we cannot get that perfection. But that moment when you will execute, that moment you will get perfection. So this you should do, act, and you will be liberated. Yes. Even those who are here in the commentary, another important feature in this connection is anena yogena yato padesham. The instructions received from the spiritual master must be followed immediately. One should not deviate from or surpass the instructions of the spiritual master. One should not be simply intent on consulting books, but should simultaneously execute the spiritual master's order, yatopadesha. Mystic power should be achieved to enable one to give up the material conception, but when one actually engages in devotional service, one does not need to practice the mystic yoga system. The point is that one can give up the practice of yoga, but devotional service cannot be given up. Then, this verse is there that even Atmaramas, they do devotion to Krishna. Even those who are liberated, Atmarama, must always engage in devotional service. One may give up the practice of yoga when one is self-realized, means that I am spirit, that kind of self-realization they get. But at no stage can one give up devotional service. All other activities for self-realization, including yoga and philosophical speculation, may be given up, but devotional service must be retained at all times. Because karma is a means to an end, to get some enjoyment. Jnana is also a means to end, to liberation, and then they stop. But devotion is means, process, and also the goal, means it will go on eternally. Why? Because Krishna is eternal, we are eternal, and our relation with him as a servant is also eternal. So devotional service to Krishna is eternal. It will never end. It is the process and end also. Sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, prema bhakti. Prema bhakti always serving in lila, eternally. Putram scha shishyam nripo gururva ma loka kamo mat anugrahārtaha itam vimanyur anushishyat atajgyan nayojayet karmasu karma mudhan kam yojayan manujor tam labheta nipatayan nashta drisham hi garte. If one is serious about going back home, back to Godhead, he must consider the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the summum bonum and chief aim of life. If he is a father instructing his sons, a spiritual master instructing his disciples, or a king instructing his citizens, he must instruct them as I have advised. Without being angry, he should continue giving instructions, even if his disciple, son, or citizen is sometimes unable to follow his order. So he should not become angry, but should continue to encourage to follow, because becoming angry or punishing, that will have nothing you will achieve by that, because only by devotional service they can be rectified, not by other things. Ignorant people who engage in pious and impious activities should be engaged in devotional service by all means. They should always avoid fruitive activity. If one puts into the bondage of karmic activity his disciple, son, or citizen who is bereft of transcendental vision, how will one profit? It is like leading a blind man to a dark well and causing him to fall in. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to go to South India, then devotees wanted to go with him, but he said, no, I will go alone. I don't want any disturbance. Then Nityananda managed to convince him at least one servant to take. Then that Krishna Das was with him. Then some Bhattataris who were tantrics, they spoiled that Krishna Das. By mantra, they took him and engaged in some other things. Then Mahaprabhu came there and he rescued him. But when he came back to Puri, he said he cannot stay with me. But he said to Nityananda, you give him some engagement. Then Nityananda engaged him in the service. And once also it happened, our Parangurudev and Srila Bhakti-Rakshidhara Goswami Maharaj and some brahmacharis, they were in preaching in somewhere in South India, one place, and one brahmachari in the evening he was caught with one lady there, one girl. Then the organizers, they were very much disappointed, and they went to Sridhar Maharaj to complain to him. And Sridhar Maharaj was little sick that time, and he was lying down already. And they said to our Parangurudev, that time brahmachari, Hayagriv brahmachari, white cloth. And they told him that you're brahmachari. Then our Paranguri said, yes, our leader, Sridhar Maharaj, he is now a little sick, he is resting. Immediately tomorrow I will tell him and we will solve the situation. He pacified them. And Sridhar Maharaj said, I was hearing what he was saying to them. He had very good intelligence how to manage the situation. Then they caught that brahmachari and they told him, you immediately leave back to the mat. Then he went in the night, and in the morning they said, already we rejected him, and you don't worry. Then preaching went on. Then when he came back to the mat, then that Bhakti Pradip Tirtha Maharaj, he chastised him very much. But that brahmachari, then he threw him out of the mat. Then that brahmachari was requesting Sridhar Maharaj and Parangudev, you please speak to Prabhupada. Yes, I did mistake, it is wrong, but I want to stay in the mat. Then when Prabhupada came there, then they spoke. Then Prabhupada said, what he did, that is not good, so I cannot stay with him. But you should give him shelter. And Sridhar Maharaj said, I was surprised how it is. You are our guru, and you say I cannot give him shelter, but we should give. Then what is this? Then Prabhupada explained, like that Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is more merciful. So you give him some engagement. Then Prabhupada explained, because the only atonement for mistake in devotional practice is engagement in devotion. Because there is, by any other punishment, you cannot purify him. It is impossible. Purification of heart only happens by devotional service. There is no other way. You cannot purify someone by any other punishment. Only if he engages in devotional service, then he can be purified. So he said, you give him some engagement in devotion. Then they gave. So like that, here he is telling, Rishabdev Bhagavan is telling, without becoming angry, he should continue giving instructions, even if his disciple, son or citizen, is sometimes unable to follow his word. Due to weakness of previous bad habits, he may do something wrong. Weakness. If weakness is there, then Guru will forgive, will not be angry, and he will continue to instruct and encourage everything. But if there is hypocrisy, that really he does not want eternal welfare, then he will be removed, because he is not ready to progress in devotion. Like Madhavendra Puri, he rejected that Ramchandra Puri, his disciple, because he was not surrendered soul, unsurrendered disciple. Our Gurudev also, there was one, his disciple, and some family problems was there, and Gurudev advised him, you don't quarrel with your wife. If she wants to divorce, you divorce, don't quarrel. You take 2 children, she'll take 2 children, but don't quarrel. You stay with them, with these 2, and you do bhajan. And again he was asking. Then he did something wrong with that lover of that his wife. So then he was put in prison. Then his lawyer wanted to get some from our Gurudev, some certificate that actually he is good, but not that was some weak moment or something. So if you give that statement, then that will help us in the court. Then Gurudev said no, because he's unsurrendered disciple. Already I gave so many advices to not do those things, but he never followed. And if I will give of this organization of Chaitanya Gauriya Math, then this will be in the register there in that country, this such and such organization. So then they will search, they will try to examine and check everything, and they will not understand this is one Gauriya Math, that is another Gauriya Math, is different like this. They will think all is same. So, and if they will research so much, surely they may find sometimes some wrong activities somewhere going on. Then they will put a stamp that this is not a good organization. Then in future no one can get visa for that country, because already in register it will be they are not good. So that time Gurudev also did not want to give further advice, because he saw I gave so much, but he was not ready to follow. So, but if someone is only having weakness and he is repenting, I did wrong, and he is willing to, then like Prabhupada, he accepted, because he saw his sincere soul, but due to some weakness he did something wrong. That is different than if someone is not surrendered. Because here also he is telling Rishabdev, all people who are ignorant, they are in pious activity or sinful activity, or like, but they should be engaged in devotional service. All. They should avoid fruitive activity. That will not give them. And if some guru or king or father will advise about fruitive activity, means selfish enjoyment, then how will one profit? Guru, father and king, they will not profit. And that disciple, son and citizen will not profit. It is like leading a blind man to a dark well and causing him to fall in. Fruitive activity means I will do some work and so that I can enjoy that after. That is fully ignorant. Our life is meant to serve Krishna. We are his eternal son. So there it is written in Bhagavatam that Guru Nasasyat. You should not accept such guru or such parent or such husband or such demigod if he cannot rescue you from death. And that is possible only by service to Supreme Lord. So anyone who is obstructing your devotion, you cannot accept that. Guru who is not giving you service of Krishna, he is not real Guru. He may give outwardly, he may give mantra, but for personal benefit, that I will have so many disciples, so much money. But he is never explaining what are the rules and never explaining what are the offenses and what are the practices. No. So that is not real Guru. So such Guru you have to give up and take a real Guru who is servant of Krishna and he is advising service of Krishna. Even if someone commits offense or is unsurrendered, still if once he realizes his mistake, and he can rectify that mistake also, when he comes to that platform, everything can be rectified. So Krishna is always ready to help Guru also when you come to that realization. Because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also he explained in Madhurja Kadambini and also in Ajamil's case, that like merchant, he may be very angry to his employee because he is not working properly. So he will stop his payment. But if that worker will change and will regret and will come with surrender like this, then again he will employ him and again he will give him salary. So like that, even if you commit offense to name, name will not reveal himself to you, not give you his blessing. But if in future you will change and you will pray to Harinam and you will chant, then he will again give you mercy, or Vaishnava, like this, because ultimately we are their servants, so we can never be happy by being averse to them. So ultimately you will have to understand this point and come with surrender, then they will forgive you and you will get benefit. So that is why he told only you should advise devotion to Krishna, and continuously. But if he is like too much averse, then you silent until he comes with surrender. There are many examples in Shastra how they committed offenses, they got punishment, then they regretted and changed their heart. Also for Harinam, if they are offenses, the remedy is you have to, with surrender and with this remorse that I committed offenses, and continuously chant, and with prayer to Harinam, if we chant constantly, then you can remove those offenses and you will get the grace. So here Rishabdev is telling he must consider the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead the summum bonum and chief aim of life. That is the point, not liberation or other enjoyment. No, mercy of Supreme. That is his service. That is the ultimate goal of life. His mercy means his service. If he does not give service, you cannot get it forcefully. His mercy means his service. So that should be our goal of life. Lokah soyam shreyasi nashta drishtir yorthan samiheta nikama kamah anyonya vairah sukha lesha hetor ananta dukkam cha naveda muraha. Due to ignorance, the materialistic person does not know anything about his real self-interest, the auspicious path in life. He is simply bound to material enjoyment by lusty desires, and all his plans are made for this purpose. For temporary sense gratification, such a person creates a society of envy, and due to this mentality, he plunges into the ocean of suffering. Such a foolish person does not even know about this. Where there is enjoyment is the goal, then always there will be envy with another enjoyer, and fighting and competition, and for limited, if I get, he is not getting, then he will fight with me. If he will get, then I will not get, I will fight with him, like this, because sense gratification is the goal. So when the Rishi saw, then they said, this is not proper course. You should worship Supreme Lord. He is Purna, complete reality. Only He can fulfill all your desires. He can fully, completely satisfy you. Nothing else can. And if I get Supreme Lord, means His service, that does not mean that others will be deprived of His service. Innumerable jivas, they can get service of Supreme Lord, and there will be no lack. There is no envy, no competition, no nothing. All can be happy by getting service of Krishna. But if enjoyment is the goal of life, material, then always quarrel and these things. That is why our Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he told that conflict is due to these worldly desires. If one is pure, means he has no any anarthas, only has one desire, to serve Krishna, then there can be unity. Otherwise not possible. When there are different targets, centers of interest, then if you draw circles, then there will be fighting. But in Golok Vrindavan, target is only one, to satisfy Krishna. So you can draw small circles, bigger. Everyone serving, someone less, someone more. That is not problem, but there will be no clashing, no conflict. That is why the guru must be fixed. Brahmanishta means realized soul. If he is fixed in this realization that Supreme Lord is the only maintainer, he is maintaining me, and everything belongs to him, everything should be used for his service, nothing is mine, everything is Krishna's, then there will be no fighting for donations, for disciples, for these things, competition. It will not be there. But if they are feeling, I need more money, so I need more disciples, then, or why you are taking my disciple, like this, competition. So that is not pure. So here, for temporary sense gratification, such a person creates a society of envy. Competition is there, and criticism, and trying to harm another. All this is due to matsarja. Which word is here? Anyonya vairaha, yes. Being envious of one another. That is due to this. But if I have Supreme Lord service, then I am not lacking anything. So I am fully satisfied, Purnananda. Then how you can have any problem with anyone? So this we have to think deeply. Kas tam swayam tat abhigyo vipaschit avidyayam antare vartamanam drishtva punastam sagrinaha kubuddhim prayojayet utpatagam yatandham. If someone is ignorant and addicted to the path of samsara, how can one who is actually learned, merciful, and advanced in spiritual knowledge engage him in fruitive activity and thus further entangle him in material existence? If a blind man is walking down the wrong path, how can a gentleman allow him to continue on his way to danger? How can he approve this method? No wise or kind man can allow this. Our Gurudev also one time told this, that how sadhu can say this? They want poison. How he can say, yes, you go and burn yourself in that? Because they are praying for many things. Give me this, give me this. Guru said, how sadhu can give you that? It is impossible for him. And he gets pain also. It is like a wound to his heart. When you come, it is like a knife to his heart. If you come to sadhu and you pray for worldly, non-eternal things and enjoyments, if you come to him, how he can give you that? Because sadhu came to this world to rescue us from that thing. He has no other business. Then how he can give you that same things which are causing you trouble? Or here also this example is there. One blind man is going to fall down in the cliff and will die. then how one who is seeing, he can allow him to go further there? How? Impossible. That is why you see those who realize soul, they cannot make any compromise with devotional practice. So many people, they said to Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, because little he got some success in preaching, people they appreciating, so some they said, Prabhupada, if you would like little slacken the rules, like tea, no problem, this or fish, this, if you would allow little compromise, then so many more people will come. And if you would not speak against those people who are like Ram Krishna Mission, like they are missing, then so many people will come. But Prabhupada said, no, I am not interested in so many people. I am here to serve Krishna and to teach service of Krishna. You cannot deviate pure devotee from pure devotion to Krishna. And he said, even if I will be alone in the world, but still I will not make compromise with service of Krishna, pure service of Krishna. I cannot make compromise. That is their compassion, because they are established in that, and they have absolute knowledge, absolute consciousness, absolute awareness what is what, and they're having absolute bliss. So how they can, for some worldly things, like for many followers, for some to give up service of Krishna or compromise? It is impossible for them. I saw our Gurudev also. He is established in that, and you cannot deviate him from that. That is, they can be gurus, those who are really gurus. Guru means one who is heavy, because he is well established in pure devotion. Lagu, one who is light, he cannot be guru, because he will be swayed here and there. Sometimes, yes, no problem, you can take fish. Why? Because he wants worldly things from disciple. But real guru, he does not collect followers, disciples, money, fame, this thing. He's not there. He's servant of Krishna. He wants to serve Krishna. Yes, now this verse come. We will hear tomorrow, or I will read today and we'll. So one blind man is going, and one stupid person is going wrong direction. Then how one who is learned can support him? How this is possible? We cannot understand, because we want sense enjoyment. So we cannot understand why Guru is not giving me permission for these things. He is very cruel because we are diseased. Gurur nasasyat, svajano nasasyat, pita nasasyat, janani nasasyat, devam natatsyan napatish chasasyan, namochet yach samupeta mrityum. This verse I had in mind. One who cannot deliver his dependence from the path of repeated birth and death should never become a spiritual master, a father, a husband, a mother, or a worshipable demigod. So about this point we will hear tomorrow, and there are examples, those who gave up such guru, who was not bona fide guru. He obstructed the service of Krishna, and such mother, such father, such brother, such demigod, you cannot accept. And positive also is there, bona fide guru is there, who can deliver, Narad Goswami, and bona fide mother Suniti, bona fide husband Ambarish Maharaj, bona fide brother is Vidur, bona fide brother. He gave good advice to Dhritarashtra. And demigod means Shiva. He gave pure devotion. He gave mantra to those prachetas. And yes, tomorrow we'll hear. Father, bona fide father is he, Rishabdev. His example. He gave proper instruction to his sons for devotion service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Shri Radha Madan Mohan Panchatatmak Shri Gaurahuri ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Shri Radha Nayananath Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Jagannath Dev ki Jai. Jai Patit Pavan Shila Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Shila Parang Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Shila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupanuga Guruvare ki Jai. Jai Shri Panchatattva Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Brinda Devi Tulsi Devi ki Jai. Jai Sarva Vigna Vinashana Kari Shri Nrishingadev ki Jai. Jai Ananta Kote Vaishnava Brinda ki Jai. Jai Samagata Bhakta Brinda ki Jai. Jai Shri SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Gaur Pramanande Hari Bol. Thank you all. Dandavat Pranam. Hari Bol.